Today we are ending the single most volatile and controversial debate in the entire Demon Slayer universe, Gyomei Himejima, the stone hashira, versus Muzan Kibutsuji, the king of demons. Forget the obvious stomp theories. We're not here for basic scaling, we're deep diving into the nexus of biological impossibility and the absolute ceiling of human martial arts. This is the fight that defines the chasm between mortals and metaphysical horror. Gyomei is statistically proven to be the strongest hashira. If anyone can stand up to the progenitor of demons, it's the rock pillar. The only way this fight is not a sub-second loss is due to 4 critical controversial chemical bombs. We're breaking down the physics of FTL regeneration, the tactical genius of the see-through world, and the agonizing definitive limitations that mean the greatest human cannot beat the demon king. The math is brutal. Let's go. Muzan is not a combatant. He is a force of nature that broke the rules of nature. He is the ultimate existential threat, and his power scaling exists outside the standard demon hierarchy, the biological cheat code, redundancy, and speed. To analyze Muzan, you must first acknowledge that his core defense mechanism makes the traditional Nichiren threat nullified. This demon king boasts 7 separate spatially distributed hearts and 5 dispersed brains. Forget decapitation, that surgical strike is functionally meaningless. Gyomei needs to inflict simultaneous, multi-point, total organ destruction across 12 discrete targets. But even if Gyomei could track all 12 points, he has to overcome the FTL paradox. Muzan's regeneration speed is not simply fast, it operates outside human kinetic and perceptive comprehension. Power scaling analysis based on his cellular repair rates, how quickly microscopic wounds are healed, places his regeneration velocity at a level that defies causality. The lowball estimate for Muzan's healing is 79,944,654,315.8 meters per second. Let me translate that for you. Muzan's body repairs itself at an astonishing minimum of 266 times the speed of light, 266c, with the highball calculations pushing this figure past 320c. This is the core scaling controversy. Gyomei, utilizing the see-through word, can perceive threats at an unprecedented human level. But if Muzan is not compromised, the second Gyomei identifies a vital weakness. That vital weakness is already healed before the neurological signal can travel from Gyomei's eyes and mind to his muscles. The conclusion for scenario A, peak undrugged Muzan versus peak Gyomei, is a definitive unchangeable stomp. Muzan wins instantly because Gyomei cannot hold the damage for even a fraction of a millisecond. The metaphysical menace, Muzan's abilities are not logically tethered to his origin, a rare corpse flower, and a doctor's elixir. He and his demons can manipulate forces like gravity, space, via the infinity castle, and lightning. This implies Muzan's power is an unstable, almost magical form of reality manipulation, constrained only by sunlight and the rarest of poisons. His physical form is liquid adaptation. He can effortlessly shapeshift, not just cosmetically but structurally, creating clones and manipulating his aura to deceive others. In his final desperate act, facing the sunrise, he adapted into the monstrous, formless baby form, a mass of pure physical crushing power designed for evasion and survival. It took the combined efforts of Gyomei, the hashira with the greatest physical strength, and dozens of other slayers just to physically restrain this behemoth. This canonical feat demonstrates that Gyomei's strength is paramount, but even at his maximum output, he is a physical restraint, not a definitive single-handed killer. Gyomei Himejima, the pinnacle of human strength. Gyomei is the ultimate counter-weapon humanity could produce. His entire arsenal is accidentally optimized to break down Muzan's complex anatomy. Kokoshibo, the upper rank one, recognized this, praising Gyomei's physical perfection. The trinity of transcendence, Gyomei's potential comes from the synchronized activation of 3 factors, setting him apart from every other hashira demon slayer. Mark the mandatory exponential boost to all physical attributes, strength, speed, and endurance. See-through world, STW, this is his game changer. Despite his physical blindness, the STW allows him to perceive reality with total clarity, tracking muscle contractions and blood flow. This gives him a massive boost in reaction time, securing him the highest combat speed ranking among the pillars. He can perceive the exact microscopic weakness Muzan might expose. Crimson Red Blade Mastery, Gyomei successfully awakened this transformation in his unique weapon system. The Crimson Red Infusion is the only human offensive measure capable of temporarily suppressing or inhibiting demon regeneration. Against FTL healing, the ability to slow the repair rate is the most essential tactical variable. Without it, the fight is over. Optimized weaponry, the flail and axe. Traditional Nichiren swords are surgically precise but useless against a demon with dispersed numerous vital organs. Gyomei's chain flail and axe system is structurally unique and crucial for this matchup. His weaponry is designed for kinetic impact and multi-point simultaneous trauma. Stone-breathing forms, specifically the first form, Serpentine Bipolar, utilize the chain's rotation to achieve simultaneous rotational force from both the axe and the flail. This technique is designed to pierce and grind through the target mass. This crushing action is vastly superior to cutting against an entity whose regeneration is cellular and instantaneous. Gyomei is designed to shatter Muzan's structure, not simply slice it. He proved this raw kinetic superiority by crushing one of Muzan's devastating arm whips, a feat other hashira struggled merely to cut. The fatal flaw, the age 25 curse. For all his power, Gyomei is ultimately human and bound by the rules of the Demon Slayer mark. He awakened the mark after the age of 25, which carries a canonical lifespan reduction. This age 25 curse is a temporal limitation that negates his massive power. Gyomei cannot win a war of attrition. His peak performance is finite, forcing any engagement to be a race against his own biological clock. The scaling matrix, the pharmacological equalizer. The Demon Slayers didn't fight Muzan alone, they fought the chemical decay administered by Tamayo and Shinobu. This is the only factor that forces Muzan's power down to a finite scalable level. This complex drug cocktail comprised 4 separate tactical chemical weapons, cell division prevention. This was essential, it prevented Muzan from splitting his body or creating disposable clones, forcing him to be one single large mappable target for the STW and the flail axe combo, human transformation agent. This gradually eroded his fundamental demonic cellular structure, making his tissue vulnerable to Gyomei's crushing force. The aging potion, the true existential threat. This drug accelerated Muzan's biological age by an insane 50 years per minute. The Slayers required him to age roughly 9,000 years to render him harmless, highlighting the sheer scale of the power gap Gyomei was fighting to overcome. Strategic misdirection. Tamayo was a master tactician. She deliberately informed Muzan about the cell prevention and human transformation agents, forcing him to divert massive regenerative energy to counter those known threats. This allowed the true killer, the aging potion, to work silently and uncountered during the initial crucial engagement phase. Despite this devastating cocktail, many fans note that for the first half hour of the Hashira battle, Muzan seemingly got stronger, instantly one-shotting multiple Slayers with devastating whirlwind and thigh whip attacks. This paradoxical increase in offensive power occurred because Muzan compensated for his suppressed FTL regeneration by maximizing his remaining temporarily uninhibited power to blitz his opponents in desperation. Gyomei faced a unique threat, a chemically compromised Demon King who was simultaneously utilizing his maximum desperate physical output. To definitively settle the debate, we must look at the two outcomes. Scenario A, peak Muzan versus peak Gyomei. The FTL plus regeneration speed of the Demon King structurally invalidates every strike Gyomei delivers. The Stone Hashira's peak physical output is functionally useless because the damage is negated faster than the injury registers on a human timescale. Scenario B, drugged Muzan vs Gyomei. Gyomei possesses the only arsenal designed for tactical victory against the compromised Demon King. His ability to track the 7 hearts 5 brains with STW, slow the regeneration with the red blade, and deliver crushing force with the flail axe combination puts him in a position to incapacitate Muzan, forcing him into the desperate baby form. He is the ultimate damage multiplier in this chemical war, confirmed by his feats of reacting to Muzan's blitz and physically restraining his final form. However, the age 25 curse is the inescapable limitation. Gyomei's human endurance is finite and dramatically shortened. Muzan, even aged by thousands of years, retains enough fundamental demonic resilience and functionally infinite stamina to survive the relentless onslaught. Since Gyomei cannot replicate the energy of the sun or the definitive killing power of sun breathing, he is restricted to a physical battle. Eventually, the Stone Hashira's finite reserves will fail, allowing the Demon King to recover and secure victory through war of attrition. Gyomei Himejima proves that peak humanity, guided by science and tactical genius, can force the infinite power of the Demon King into a struggle for survival, but he cannot complete the kill alone. This battle is the ultimate tragedy of the Demon Slayer Code. What are your thoughts? Does the FTL regeneration calculation make the peak comparison meaningless? Or is Gyomei's pure strength enough to break the rules? Drop your hottest takes in the comments below, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into scaling absurdity. We'll see you next time, Slayers.